everyone. Okay, I just got back to Bangkok. This is actually the second recording because I think the first recording messed up when I tried to test out my headset. So, okay, so this video I just want to share about this book. I bought this book about a week back by Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last. So I think this is a really interesting book. It is quite different from what I read. For example, let's say you talk about books like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, or Crucial Conversations. They have a lot of very what I call hard concepts, which are proven through numbers and statistics. And I like them. This book is quite different. This book has a lot less numbers, a lot more feeling. The language of this book is very informal, right? And of course, you know that it's already backed with a lot of data. But when he describes certain situations, you are actually able to feel yourself in that situation many times. Okay, and this is quite uncommon. I don't usually recommend someone like Simon Sinek. Why? Because Simon Sinek is actually not an entrepreneur. Okay, he's just a professor. And this actually, I think this is actually the very first book I'm recommending that is not by entrepreneur. And let me explain why. I'm trying to be more open-minded to look at books that are not written by entrepreneurs, and I realized that even people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates do recommend a lot of books by non-entrepreneurs, right? Which means that there might be a problem with the way that I've been judging the people that I read from. Okay, and anyway, this guy, I watched his videos before, okay, and I think they were pretty good. I could understand his concepts. I applied it when we were creating a brand in this company, and we did see quite a lot of results, and they were pretty quick, right? Within weeks you could see a result, right? So, and of course when I read this book, it was even much better, right? I understood a lot more concepts about how to manage people, right? And I'm constantly reviewing the concepts I have in my mind. Last time I thought that employees were helpful, and then after that I revised employees to become important, and then I revise it to become very important. And right now, I think I'm pretty certain that employees, meaning people, right? They can be your partner, they can be employees, are actually number one. Okay, their employees are more important than your systems, more important than your technology, more important than everything else you have in your company, including your money. Why? Because it's these people that you have that helps to create the technologies and the systems. And I think we know that in this current digital age, a lot of our systems expire within, I don't know, if you're in affiliate marketing, 6 months. If you're everywhere else, 1-2 years, very quickly. So whatever you have now is useless in 2 years' time. But so who's going to help you to create these systems? It is your people, right? And of course, people is is long term. They will stay with you for long. And well, that's not always the case, right? Like a lot of people experience their best guys leaving, and of course, this book is supposed to help you to figure out how to get your best guys to stay. Okay, so I want to talk about 3 concepts in this book. So the first concept is adopting a child, right? So hiring an employee is like adopting a child. Why? Of course, I assume that you are 30 years old, around there, and the people that you hire are also around the age. Nobody's hiring above 40. Okay, so these people are relatively new in the industry. Maximum they have been working for less than 2-3 years or less than 5 years before they join you. Okay, so what happened is that who was taking care of them before? It was their parents, right? And parents were the one that were giving them money, giving them care, teaching them what to do. And then they transit to the workplace, okay, and then you pay them, right? Because the parents are no longer paying them, and you tell them what to do, you tell them what's right. So you're effectively a parent, or the child or the employee actually looks at you that way. Okay, and if you treat your employee like a child, with love, with care, what happens is that he will blossom, he will literally die for you, right? She will do everything that he can to build up your company. And of course, I've tried that before when I was younger, and I actually tried it on people that went to jail. Okay, people that went to jail, and they treat me like their father, right? Like, it doesn't matter whether they went to jail or not, you still want to do the best for your dad. Right? And I have that experience before, and I can tell you that it's true. Okay, so that's I think that's what you're supposed to do, and that's what we have been doing for everyone in our company, whether it was a partner or employee. We treat them like our family members. Okay, and when you do that, you create what we call a circle of safety, right? So he actually talks about the circle of safety at the back of the book here. Okay, so what a circle of safety simply means is that I care for you. As a leader, I sacrifice my time, money, and energy for you. Right? When you have a problem, I'm always there to help you. I don't fire you, right? Like, so that's actually the negative thing that you shouldn't be doing. You should be helping them as much as you can. Okay, and when you do that, your employee feels love, feels part of a family. They will, for you. They will do everything they can for you. And that is also the bedrock of innovation, right? So innovation is only possible. See, innovation is not by you, okay? Not by you, the owner of the company, it's by your employees, which you may not even know every single person of them, right? Or you may not have the time to talk to every one of them, right? These are the people that are actually innovating for your company. Okay, and what happens is that innovation has to happen in a safe environment. Okay, if your guys feel threatened of their job, if they feel like you're gonna steal their stuff and give away and don't give them credit, then there's no way that this person can put his mind fully to creating something because he's worried that you steal something from him. Okay, but if he trusts you completely and he believes that whatever he creates for you, you are going to take care of him, you are going to give him his fair share or more than his fair share, and you're going to take care of him just as good as his parents does, then he would be able to pay his full attention on creating something, right? And I can tell you that is true because in our company now we are seeing a lot of innovation, okay, in the recent months. So I kind of we had the circle of safety, but it wasn't really that strong and extended to all the employees. And we kind of started that in January this year. And then sometime in March to April, we started seeing a lot more innovation in our company. And of course, recently in last 1-2 months, even more innovation happening, right? And this is, I'm not talking about the guys I'm working with in this office. I'm talking about the employees that I may not even talk to in 1-2 months, right? I may only talk to them in 30 minutes. They have a lot of innovations, a lot of things that they are willing to try because we give them the space to make mistakes. We don't blame them for mistakes. We encourage them just like you would with a family member, right? So it's pretty simple. I think that's the core of it, I think if it's your family member, you naturally know that you should be encouraging them. You should be not blaming them as much as possible, even though you can get angry sometimes, right? So I think that is a more important guideline than telling you what to do because you already know what to do with your family member. Okay, and then it leads to this thing called chemicals. So this book, even though soft, even though it is pretty soft and talks a lot about just concepts, there is some science to it. In fact, I think it's better science backed than any other book that I've read, right? Because it talks about hormones, chemicals, right? So the hormones it talks about is oxytocin, serotonin, cortisol, and dopamine, right? So just to make it simple, they are what I call the long-term chemicals and the not good chemicals, right? So the good and the not good. So if you are stressed, if let's say I don't take care of you, I don't care about you, I pay you $5 per hour, you do that, I don't want you anymore in my company, then you have this chemical called cortisol, which is a stress hormone, right? So when I don't care about you, you are not in my circle of safety, what happens is that you feel stressed, you get paranoid, you start talking shit about your boss, right? You start saying that it's normal, right? It happens to everyone, including myself. I've done this. I have talked shit about my bosses before, right? And it's actually completely normal. It's a natural reaction, right? Because of this hormone called cortisol, you get stressed, you get worried about your job, you start backstabbing people, you start sabotaging people, you start doing all sorts of shit except your work, okay? On the other hand, if your employee feels safe, you will take care of them like family, okay? They have the hormone called oxytocin, which is a love hormone that you feel after you have been with someone you trust for a few months at least. It doesn't happen in a day, it doesn't happen in a week, it takes months to happen. So 3 to 6 months, right? Which coincides with when we implemented the higher level circle of safety in January, and then we saw results somewhere in April. So that's 3 months, right? Before everybody started trusting us even more, right? So take note that this trust I'm talking about is a very high level of trust. It's not very good. Very good is not good enough. You have to be excellent, right? For the innovation to start coming out. Okay, and so oxytocin and cortisol are actually mutually exclusive. Okay, if you have cortisol, you cannot have oxytocin. If you have oxytocin, you cannot have cortisol, right? Which means that somebody that trusts you and believes that you are doing good things for him cannot be paranoid, cannot be stressed. I'm talking about the bad kind of stress, right? I think everybody is stressed to a certain extent. You cannot be stressed, cannot be paranoid, cannot be sabotaging you, cannot be talking shit about you. Why? Because he trusts you. On the other hand, if they don't have oxytocin, if they don't trust you, if they are not in your circle of safety, then they must have the other hormone. right? So that's how it works. So they will be paranoid, they will not trust you, they will be talking shit about you, they will be stirring shit in the company, they will be paranoid, they'll be worried about their jobs. Okay, so it's either or, right? So that's how you know, right? You're definitely one of these, right? Your employees is definitely one of these. There's no middle, there's only one or the other. Okay, so to sum it up, treat your employees like family, take care of them, sacrifice for them as you would with for a family member, maintain human contact, physical contact, and of course you have to do it for 3 to 6 months, and then you would see increased innovation, better results, better systems. It takes care of itself, right? So we have done it already. We have seen innovation from even our online employees that we are paying less than $500 per month, and the innovation and what they have been doing. I've been benchmarking them against people that are paid $1,000-$2,000, and I really think that our guys under $500 is doing much better, right? That's on top of their daily jobs, right? The innovations, and they are willing to fork out their own money to buy things just to help the company. And of course, as a family, as a family member, what we should do is we should spot that, and we should reimburse them, we should thank them, we should recognize them, right? Just like you would for a family member. Thank you for watching.